We're back, everyone, with Mike and Haley Jones and also Julie Bolles. Julie, during the break, you got to tell this story a little bit about meeting with them before all this started, and they're telling you, okay, this is what we want to do. We want to adopt some siblings. How many? 8?
Sure. Yep. So Mike and Haley came and met with me and shared with me their desire to adopt 8. One of the first things they would have to do is have a home study done. So that's what they had come to visit with me about.
Let me just interrupt you there. With tell us what a home study is and why that's so important.
A home study is really important. It's a vital piece of getting an adoption started. It's a written report about a family, and it is assessing that family's abilities and preparedness to adopt. So we're looking at them medically and financially. We're looking at their home. We're talking to them about their background, their ideas on child rearing, parenting. So it's a written report. It's used by the country that they're wanting to adopt from, and it's also used by immigration to give them an approval to adopt.
So you want to tell them no.
I'm sitting there politely thinking, how can I tell them no? This is a lot of kids at one time. So we began to talk about that, and I could see that they really had a desire. This really is what they were feeling called to do. So I asked them to take several steps to show me what that would look like when they brought their kids home. Gave them homework, yes. And a home study process involves a lot of homework, and but they had some extra steps in their homework that I might not ask every family to do. And for example, the home, we were talking about the home, and they literally brought me back blueprints of this is how we're going to make it work. And through all of that series of steps, I knew that they were prepared and ready to do that to the best that they could be.
Go-getters.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Very much so.
We have a calling here, and we've got to follow this through.
Yes.
Right? At what point do you think any of the children will want to go back to Sierra Leone for a visit?
That's something that we talk about, and a lot of them are excited to go back, and they're wanting to go back. Our oldest is one who he would go now, and I think he's ready for that. He could handle that. So that's something that hopefully will be sometime in the near future. But his hope is to eventually to go back and open another orphan care center there. He has a heart for the kids there, and he has a heart for adoption. You know, he knows what it's like to be with and what it's like to be without.
Do they know how special and unique this situation is that you, I mean, obviously there's 8 of them, but you know, there's so many siblings who get broken up. That's right?
Yes.
And in this case, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think somewhat on their own level, but especially the older ones. And they'll talk a lot about, like, well, I can't imagine if we weren't all here together. Like, it was kind of all or nothing with them the whole time, too. You know, the older ones kind of helped take care of the younger ones. So it was just something that they couldn't imagine something being any different.
What have they told you that they liked most? I mean, it probably varies from child to child, but what do they like most about living in Franklin, Tennessee? And
well, they definitely enjoy the soccer community.
Yeah,
so because I bet none of them playing soccer.
Isn't it remarkable too that you know, kids in that region of the world, and really everywhere internationally, I've been told this, that you know, here in the United States, you throw a kid a ball and he catches it, he or she.
Yep.
And elsewhere, you throw a kid a ball and right away, but there's no hands involved. It's soccer. Sure. It's just.
It's definitely the world sport.
Yeah, world sport. So they love it.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Lots of soccer practice.
Lots of soccer. Food was an adjustment. Like, you would think we have so many different variety of foods, everybody would love that, but it just wasn't. You know, they're used to rice and just different things like cassava, which I don't know how to describe that, but say it's kind of like a spinach a little bit.
So real specific diet.
Yes, yes. And so it took a while. Like, there was a lot of me cooking and a lot of kind of like, what is this? But now they love everything, so that's good.
It was mostly a texture issue.
Yeah.
So just kind of different things like that. But also, and the oldest one would tell you this too, is he says just family. He said he's a family. They're all together. They're not worrying anymore. And just kind of having that family and that support. And we're a pretty close family. Like, we kind of do everything together. And so just having that has been huge for them.
Let's talk a little bit about the book, because there's a great photo put up on the screen there too. Did you keep a diary? I mean, how do you find the time, first of all, to write a book with all of this going on? Do you get any sleep, first of all? Try to get some sleep. I mean, you both look great.
Yeah.
You really do. You look really great and happy and fulfilled. We know that. But you're obviously taking care of yourselves, which is important.
Yeah.
It was a lot of late nights, weekends, and you find the time to do the things you want to do, and it was something we wanted to do, is have the story in writing. And
was there a journaling process as this?
Mainly through emails, just emails back and forth as I was in the country. I would write some things down, but when I got started with thinking about the story and writing the book, it was kind of one of those things. There was a lot of painful parts in there, and there was some parts that I didn't want to revisit yet. And so I'm trying to go back through to write that and just kind of to pull all that out again. It was a lot. It was a lot, but we wanted to share it. And though it's about adoption and our story, there's a bigger picture too, and that's just no matter what you're going through, there's always hope. It doesn't matter how difficult or what kind of challenges come your way. When you're called to do something, you have faith, and you can't lose hope. And that doesn't matter whether it's adoption or anything else. So we hope the book resonates with a lot of different people for that reason.
Right, a bigger lesson there.
Yeah, because I mean, we're just Mike and Haley Jones. I mean, we're nothing special. We weren't, we were called to this, and we hope that through the book people know that no matter what background you come from or what your life circumstance may be, if you've been called to something, we hope it gives you the encouragement and just the fortitude to be able to go and see it through. Whether it's adoption, sponsoring a child, being part of another nonprofit or foster care, being a mentor to Boys and Girls Club. There's just so many things that people can do, and besides adoption, and that they can be successful at.
Were you there when the kids came in?
No, I was not at the airport with them, but we continued to serve their family after they came home through post-adoption reports.
Have you been able to meet them yet?
Oh yeah,
Okay. All right.
So we did a post-adoption report, so we go out and we visit with the family and we report on how they're doing, and so we send that back to the country, so the country knows that we're providing the type of home for children that we say we'll do in the home study. So I've been able to visit with them as a part of that process.
Where in Sierra Leone was this?
Freetown, in the capital city.
Okay. And this was before the Ebola outbreak, right?
Yes.
Which was so frightening.
It is.
So how concerned were your kids when that news struck, and how much international news are they allowed to consume? Obviously the older ones maybe a little more than,
It was really hard, just because we always say, they just have a bigger family now. There's a lot of people in Sierra Leone, extended family, that we still love, that they still love. And so it was a worry for them, definitely something that they would pray for every single night. At least one of them would just pray for Sierra Leone and Ebola and the center where they were from and the village where they lived. So it was a concern, and one of the reasons we were so glad we got to Skype with the birth family after the Ebola is just to kind of check in there. So,
who runs that center there, where they were?
It's called the Rainy Season. That's the care of it, and they've got just a lot of different people here. Some here in stateside, and then some in Sierra Leone. So it's a great organization for sure.
And obviously you keep in touch with them. And,
yes.
It's just remarkable. How long have you been doing this?
15 years.
Okay. How many adoptions have you?
Oh gosh, I've worked in 34 different countries, and at this point, it would be thousands of adoptions at this point that I've participated in.
Remarkable. So you've seen it all.
Yeah, I feel like I've quite a bit. I say I've seen it all, and then something unique happens, So no, I guess I haven't seen it all.
I will say I have not read the book yet, but I'm going to, and I did quickly today look on Amazon, and the reviews are remarkable. People are just raving about it, and it's a really personal story that you're sharing. So I know so many people will appreciate it. We're going to take our final break, everybody, and a little bit more about where you can find the book right after this. Stay with us.